Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Friends, we have already started lecture series on automobile engineering. Previous lecture we have covered steering system, braking system, gear system, etc. If you have not watched this video, I request you kindly watch this video to better understanding of this lecture. The link of this videos is provided in the description box. Friends, I request you kindly like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel to motivate me to bring more videos on the same topic. So let's begin. So specifically we talk about types of suspension system. In that we will see wishbone type, McPherson type and trailing type suspension system. In coming lectures we will go through shock absorber and air suspension system. So before wasting the time, let us start. Let's see the necessity and function of the suspension system. Friends, all of you know automobile chassis is mounted on the axle, but it is not directly mounted on the axle. Between the chassis and the axle there is one unit called as a spring or damper. To avoid the shock which may be coming from the bounce, pitch, rolling or uneven surface which is on the road. This tendency gives uncomfortable ride and also additional stresses on the frame and the body. All the parts which perform the function of isolation of automobile from the road shock is collectively called as a suspension system. So broadly speaking, the suspension system consists of a spring and the damper. Energy of the road shock causes the spring to oscillate about its axis, and this oscillation restricted to the reasonable level by means of the damper. So this spring and the damper is a very important and heart of the suspension system. Let's see its objective. The first objective is that of suspension system to avoid road shock being transmitted to the vehicle. Then it is safeguard of occupant from the road shock. Occupant means the person which is sitting inside the car, and to preserve stability of the vehicle of pitching, rolling in the vehicle motion. So these are the main objective of suspension system. So let us move to the next topic, independent type of suspension. Due to simplicity of construction and very easy to use, independent suspension has become a most universal in case of the front axle. It means independent type of suspension is generally used for the front axle. So in that, first we will see wishbone type suspension system. Here you see the wheel is there. This wheel is mounted on the wheel hub here, and wheel hub is connected by means of sub pin to the frame, the upper wishbone and the lower wishbone. Then the spring is attached, spring and damper is attached between the lower wishbone and the frame. If you clearly see in this figure, you observe that the upper wishbone is smaller in size and the lower one is larger in size. This size difference is helped to keep the vehicle to track at constantly. So in this way it is very simple in construction. When uneven surface is coming on the road, then this tire moves up and down and this shock is transmitted to this unit, and it absorbs this shock and to avoid at the minimum level and transmit it to the frame. So in this way it is functioning. Wishbone type suspension system is mostly popular in independent type of suspension system. It is generally used in high-end car and the sports car. Let us see the next type of suspension system. The second one suspension system is MacPherson strut type suspension system. It is very simple one. If you see here, a strut element is provided here. In this strut element, the damper is in and also coil spring is used. This strut element is connected on the wheel hub, and this wheel hub is at the lower end, it is connected to the wishbone. Wheel is mounted on wheel hub. Let's see its working. When uneven surface is coming on the road, then this tire or this wheel moves upside, and then it transmitted this shock to the wheel hub, and it is then transmitted to this element, and thus almost amount of shock is gets absorbed with this type of suspension system. This type of suspension system is first used by Maruti Suzuki vehicle. Now we'll see the third type of suspension system, trailing link type suspension system. In this type of suspension system, the coil spring is attached to the trailing link. Here is trailing link. In that, coil spring is attached, which is itself attached to the shaft carrying wheel hub. The wheel hub is here. When wheels move up and down, then it winds and unwinds the spring. In certain design, coil spring can be replaced with the torsional bar. This system does maintain camber and the wheel track at constantly. But in some cases, the distance between the front wheel and the rear wheel does changes, and this difficulty does not solve, and because of this reason, this is very limited in use. We can see this trailing link type suspension system in aeroplane landing wheel. And some sports car. Here in this figure, the sports car is shown. So like this, we completed the independent type of suspension system. So now we move to our next topic, shock absorber. Friends, shock absorber is a device which dampens out the vibration and the shock by offering resistance to the motion. Let's see how it offers the resistance to the motion. It does this action by converting kinetic energy of the shock to convert this kinetic energy into the vertical movement of the axle, which is providing damping, and because of these two activity, very high amount of heat is dissipated, and this heat is dissipated to the atmosphere. Then on which factor the absorbed energy is depend. So obviously we use some oil. In case of hydraulic system, you use oil. So viscosity is the main parameter on which the energy absorption is depend. There are basically two types. First one is a shock absorber in friction type, and another is a hydraulic type. So here in this figure, we will going to study a damper telescopic type. Now we will see in detail here. If you clearly observe, you see it is a lower mounting and it is a upper mounting. In between this, a piston is arranged here, and this green color is a rebound chamber or reservoir, you can say. This outer color is a cylinder tube. In cylinder tube, one more reservoir is there. Here is a reservoir. Then this is the compression valve. This one is a compression valve, and another compression valve which is connected with the piston here. And in between these two, a compression chamber is there. So in this way the arrangement is there. Now let's see its working. When this piston moves in this way downside, then through this valve the fluid which is inside the chamber, it starts falling and it goes upward here through this valve. The upside motion of fluid restricted the motion of the shock. This activity happens in upper part. Then because of downward motion of the piston, the fluid which is inside here is allowed to move from this valve, and it goes inside this reservoir chamber here in the same direction. Means downside fluid is going upward in this direction. In this way, the motion of fluid is allowed to restrict the shock. This motion is restricted our shocks. So in this way the operation will be takes place. Here you can see the diagram of shock absorber. You might have seen this diagram or this shock absorber in two-wheelers. So it is mostly used in two-wheelers only.